Hey guys, my name is Ace, and welcome back to another First Impressions video. Today, we're going to be talking about Cuphead, released for the Xbox One and PC. And for those of you who own a PS4, I am so sorry that you don't get to play this game. It is an absolute phenomena, and it's one of the best games that I've played all year round. So what makes Cuphead one of the best games, if not the best game of the year? Well, let's start off with the story. It's actually a pretty basic story, and it's kind of pushed to the side, which isn't a bad thing because it gives it more time to flesh out the gameplay, and it gives you more time to admire the designs and artistic direction. The story follows Cuphead and Mugman, two adventurous characters who like to wander the woods and explore, and they end up coming across a casino run by none other than the devil himself. They end up playing some games, they get really good, they're making bank, when all of a sudden the big man himself comes down and says, "Hey, let's make a deal. If you can beat me, I will give you riches beyond your wildest dreams." It took a minute to think about that. But if he wins, he gets their souls, obviously. You know, fucking double tropes and this. And obviously Cuphead and Mugman lose, and their souls are gonna be taken, but they're like, "No, please, I don't want to lose my soul. I like living and being carefree and adventurous, and I like my cup on my head." What? So the devil says, "Okay, fine. If you can go out and get these souls from these other people who owe me their souls, then I will let you free." And thus begins an adventure where Cuphead and Mugman have to go get the souls of these difficult motherfucking bosses to save their souls. They're then blessed with magical abilities that allow them to shoot lasers from their fingers, jump, dash, all that kind of stuff from their father figure to help them battle the evil that is Cuphead. And that's pretty much it. To be honest, I haven't gotten far in the game, but I've seen plenty of people playing it and doing Let's Plays, and I've seen the ending, so I know what all happens. And to be honest, I don't know how these people do it. This game is so hard. Like, it's ridiculous. And for those of you who are saying Cuphead is the new Dark Souls, fuck you, it's a dead meme. Let it die. This game is ridiculously difficult, and it's so fun to play anyways because you just keep going back. It's interesting because there's boss fights, which are a good portion of the game, and then there's run and gun platforming sections. And to be honest, they don't take that long to finish, but with how difficult this game is, you'll keep going and going and going over and over again. So what is Cuphead? So the gameplay style of Cuphead is, as I said, a run-and-gun platformer style game where it's a little shoot-'em-up game. Like I said, Cuphead and Mugman can shoot lasers. There's also different types of power, fucking get the word out. There's different types of energy blasts that you can shoot. There's the standard little pew-pew blast. There's a spread shot, which is hella powerful, but it's also very short range, so you have to get up close to people. There's a ring power-up that if you shoot away from the enemy, it'll actually like do a loop around, and that's how you do a lot of damage with those guys. It also gives you great range when they have projectiles that need to be destroyed. And you can dash over platforms. There's also other power-ups that you can get. The way you get these power-ups is you go to Pork Rinds, who's the shopkeep, who's also a pig, and he has the deepest voice I've ever heard in my life for a cartoon character. Not necessarily true, but I didn't expect him to sound like this.
Welcome. Goodbye.
Kind of intimidating. You can also get a dash power-up, like I said, that turns you into a puff of smoke and you don't take any damage while dashing. There's also a 4th hit counter that you can buy at the price of losing some attack power, which, to be honest, I'd rather stick with the original 3 hits to keep my attack power up. And a lot of these are used as charms or tokens that you can equip whenever you want. You can replace different fire abilities this way. There's also some super moves that you can adjust to. The only one that I've unlocked so far is the giant torrent of milk or water that he shoots out of his head. I don't know what it is entirely. But there's a lot of depth to this game that just makes me want to experiment more with these power-ups. Obviously what I have right now is what I like, which is the standard shoot and the O-rings, and the smoke dash without the fourth hit. That's basically me so far. I still have to get to World 2. That's just how horrible I am in this game. And it's really interesting to actually do all these things and experiment, and that's what I really like about Cuphead as well. Besides the difficulty factor, it just leaves itself to open-ended customization. You can also parry pink shots that give you an additional super move, which with certain powers that you obtain, like the shots, you can do a super shot, which is just a bigger form of what you have, and it's going to obviously do a little more damage than normal. That's also, if you build up 5 different super shots, that's where that big super torrent water thing comes from. And it's a lot of fun to use. I find myself just spamming those super shots instead of using the big super shot. It's really difficult to just separate those two right now. I like to use those ones because they're flashier, and to be honest, I think they do a little more damage when you use them in tandem. Cuphead takes an extreme amount of skill to actually get anywhere in this game. You gotta recognize patterns, and the whole screen can be filled up with crap that can kill you with a small, minimal amount of error. And each boss battle has 3 different phases. Technically they all have 3 different phases, but there's different checkpoints that you can see after you die and see how far you are to the boss, and that just makes you want to keep going because you know you can get that far again. And each boss has their own different patterns to them, different forms. Obviously some are going to be a little bit more difficult than the other one. Now I really got to talk about the artistic direction that this game took. It's based off of the 30s cartoons animations like Steamboat Willie, Betty Boop, Looney Tunes, Popeye, a lot of which that I actually grew up with. I didn't watch all, I wasn't one of those kids who just watched anime and SpongeBob. I actually went to just have fond memories of going to my grandparents' house and watching these shows on VHS, and just seeing this game really brought me back to that point. A lot of these animations were actually hand-drawn, and I think actually all of them were hand-drawn by maybe 1-2 guys who really paid attention to detail before transferring this over, and a lot of the backgrounds are actually painted like they did in the old cartoons, which I found really cool. Everything about this is just so colorful, and I love the old filter that they put on this, like the grainy filter to really emphasize the old school-ness of this whole deal. It's just so nice to look at, and I can guarantee without that grain effect on there, this game would look even better, but it just adds so much to the aesthetic. And all the characters and the power-ups and everything that you see are just so fluid and beautiful. It's just, I could gush about this art direction all day long, but we'd be here forever. With all that being said, I don't really think there's much else to talk about Cuphead. It's a nice, simplistic little platformer shooter which takes inspiration from the 30s in its animation style, and God, I just don't know how to explain it anymore. It's one of the best games that I've played this year. One of the most frustrating for sure, but it's worth it. It's worth going back over and over fighting all the bosses, and to be honest, when I beat it again, I'm probably going to pick it up and play it again and try it on the hardest difficulty. It's that addicting and it's that fun, and for those of you who have an Xbox One or a PC that can run something like this, I don't think it's that consuming for power, but I don't know. If you have those things, definitely pick it up. I highly recommend Cuphead for anybody who likes difficult games, 3D platformers, or shoot-em-ups. And with that all being said, guys, I want to thank you all for being patient. I took a little bit of a break to actually get adjusted to my new job, and kind of relax a little bit before I started making videos again. I've actually got some stuff lined up, and I have a couple of scripts and all that written, so there should be something up for Halloween, November, and December, maybe a couple of things in between. So I want to thank each and every one of you for watching this video. If you like this video, then by all means like the video, and if you want to subscribe for more, then why not hit that subscribe button? And hey, why not hit that little bell icon down there to be notified when I upload again? And what are your thoughts on Cuphead? If you guys have played Cuphead, what do you think about it? If you want to play Cuphead, What do you think about it? Just let me know in the comment section below. And with that out of the way, guys, hope you all have a fantastic evening. Thanks once again for watching, and take care. Bye-bye!